Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 2003 action-adventure thriller film Daredevil. So this is starring Ben Affleck as Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil. Jon Favreau plays Foggy in this. You have Ellen Pompeo is Karen for a hot second in this. You have Jennifer Garner playing Elektra in this. You have so many other people are in this. Kevin Smith is in this for half a second as well, which I don't remember. And you have two actors. I forget their names. They were just. My family loves the 2018 film Feast of the Seven Fishes, which is just a wonderful nostalgic film for us, being of a Italian background, celebrating Christmas that way. So to watch that film, it's very nostalgic for them with their youth, nostalgic for me with my youth, present time as well. So two of the actors in that film are in this film. I have not seen this film in probably 15 years. Probably. This came out in 2003. So we're 21 years later that this particular film, that we're sitting down and watching this. Um, it's it's very entertaining watching something you haven't watched in so long, in 15, 20 years. Because when you, and then the question is, why did you stop watching it? I remember watching it the first time and I liked it. It was okay. And then, like, the more I talked to people, the more they kept pointing out what was wrong with it. Oh, story was to this, the story was to that, it should have done this, it should have done that. And I'm pretty sure it influenced my viewpoint because I haven't watched it since. Then Netflix did their version of Matt Murdock being Daredevil in a TV series before Disney then got the full rights to then the other expanded characters in the Marvel world. So then Netflix Matt Murdock then joins in the third Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland, Spider-Man Far From Home, No Way Home, Homecoming. What was the third one called? I don't even remember. Homecoming was the first. Far From Home is the second. Homecoming? Was it the third Homecoming? I don't remember. There's so many Spider-Men. But it's interesting watching that different Daredevils in different universes, different Matt Murdocks doing different things. So having this revisit to 2003 Ben Affleck as Matt Murdock, I watched the director's cut of this specifically to see what new things I hadn't seen earlier, what other plot points they could have brought in. Theatrical release is an hour 45, something like that. The director's cut that I just watched is 2 hours and 13 minutes. And you're like, what did they add to this? They added a lot. But Michael Duncan as Kingpin is a great character in this. You have Colin Farrell as Bullseye is a great character in this. I'm watching this now with new perspective of multiverse of films, and this is a really good film. I don't know if it's just the fact that I watched the 2 hour and 13-minute director cut of it, or the fact that I haven't seen this in 20 years, roughly. That new perspective coming into look what we lost back in early 2000s music, early 2000s technology, early 2000s clothes, talk, stuff like that. We're in Hell's Kitchen, New York, 2003. Obviously, it was filmed in 2002 then. But it's just it's a weird bit of nostalgia, speaking of nostalgia, watching something from so long ago, showing a timepiece that doesn't exist anymore, that can't exist anymore. And it's fine that it can't exist anymore, but it shows you of your fond memories of that time period. You know, you have Evanescence blasting in the background as Elektra is doing a workout or something like that. And I'm like, oh my God, this is pure early 2000s right here. This is a prime representation. Wonderful. I very much so enjoyed this film. I don't know why. I'm assuming why I haven't seen it in so long. It's because others have influenced me. Peer pressure. Repugnant. I liked how the first 20 minutes of this film is younger Matt Murdock before he got blind, how he got blind, after he got blind as a kid, sticking up for himself, learning the vibrations can cause visions and stuff like that. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed seeing the young Matt Murdock then become the adult Matt Murdock and listening to heart rates of people on the stand, and that's how he can tell if they're lying and stuff like that. So it's very interesting. It's interesting having a different Matt Murdock perspective. Technically, this being the first live action Matt Murdock perspective we had prior to the next one about Charlie. What's his last name? Carver? I don't think it's Charlie Carver. But we're gonna pretend it's Charlie Carver. Charlie Cox. Charlie C. I think it's a C, playing the newer Daredevil. And I'm assuming 20 years from now we'll have yet another Daredevil. Who knows? Possibilities are endless. But revisiting Daredevil, the 2003 Daredevil film, then prepping myself to see this sequel, Elektra film, which came out in 2005. Now, she is killed by Bullseye in this film, so how does she come back to life? There's magic between all things, right, within regards to a comic film. Just because you see someone die doesn't mean they're actually dead. Much like how any good villain story happens, just because you assume doesn't mean it's true. I enjoyed this revisit. I am ashamed in myself that it took me this long to revisit. This is a good lesson. Don't let people peer pressure you into forcing you to think something is correct just because they say it is correct. It's not how this works. It's not how it works. You have to look to see the perspective of it. You have to understand what the hell is going on. You have to understand what is the best thing for the masses, the good of the whole. And in my own good of the whole aspect, I should not have been this far away from this film for so long. I'm glad I came back to it. I'm glad I relived some good nostalgic memories from watching it from a film from 21 years ago. I enjoyed it. I don't understand why so many people didn't like it. But again, in hindsight, I revisited this with the director's cut. The director's cut is very good. 2-hour, 13-minute made sense. It was a good steady pace from point A to point B to point C. I'm not feeling rushed. I'm not feeling lacking anything. So I'm curious where the 40 minutes were cut in the theatrical release then, which I don't remember. But give it a try. Watch the director's cut, because it's vastly different than what I remember being the theatrical cut, which everybody complained about. Who knows? Matt Murdock, Daredevil, long live the devil of Hell's Kitchen. On to the next review. Mahalo.